Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pwn2Own Miami for 2022. I am Dustin Childs, and with me is the director of ZDI, Brian Gorntz. Brian, how we doing?
Doing great.
We are back. We are live from Miami here at the S4 conference, and we could not be happier. It has been a long time since our inaugural competition in 2020, but hey, look at us. We made it. We're back, and we're here. This is the second Pwn2Own Miami competition, and we could not be more excited. We have 11 contestants this year and 32 total entries to go through over the next 3 days. So that means we've got a lot to go through. As always, we are going to start with the draw for order. We've got all 32 entries in here, and this is going to take a little bit. So we normally draw out of a hat. This time we got a mason jar, and I'm all out of ado. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and I'm going to draw the first name, and then we'll move on from there. So the first person going up in the competition. Let's see who this is. Here we go. It's a Pwn2Own newcomer, at least as far as I know. This is 20 URDJK. I don't know how you pronounce that. 20 Urgdik or something. I don't know. But he will be targeting the Unified Automation C++ demo server with a DOS in the OPC UA server category. And let me remind everyone that it's very well known that I am horrible at pronouncing names. So please forgive me when I mispronounce yours. From what I've been told from the contestants, though, it's actually kind of a badge of honor to have their name mispronounced by me. So I'm very happy to hear that. And again, apologies up front. So Brian, why don't you do the honors and draw the next one for us?
Next one. It's going to be Chris Anastasio and Steven Seeley of the Insight team targeting the Iconics Genesis 64 with an RCE in the control server category.
And if you remember Pwn2Own Miami from 2020, you will remember that they were the master of Pwn team. So they are back defending their title. And I'll tell you right now, it's going to be a hard competition. I think it's going to be awesome to see.
It's going to be a very tight race.
It's going to be tight. Like we have no idea who's it going to be. But our next contestant is going to be the flashback team of Pedro Ribeiro and Radek Damyansky targeting Aviva Edge with an RCE in the human machine interface category. So they are also former Master of Pwn winners from Pwn2Own Tokyo, Vancouver, one of the cities we've been to at some point. So happy to have them competing. You do so many of these, they kind of run together, especially when they're over Zoom.
Yeah. The next one, Axel Overclock, targeting Iconics Genesis 64 with an RCE in the control server category.
That's great. So again, if you're just tuning in, we've got people here live with us to compete, and we also have remote entries as well. I think Axel's one of the remote entries, right?
A remote entry.
Yeah, so that'll be great too. So that'll be a lot of fun to see. Let me see who we got coming up next. Oh no, one at a time. There we go. Okay, here's another newcomers to the Pwn2Own world. It's Orapellis, Omar Caspi, and Yuria Yavnieli from the JFrog security research team targeting Unified Automation C++ demo server with a DOS in the OPC UA server category. That is probably the longest little sheet of paper I've ever read in my entire life.
Next up would be Clarity Research targeting the Iconics Genesis 64 with a remote code execution in the control server category.
Clarity is another team that has participated in the past, and we're happy to have them back. So let's see who is up next. Okay, so here we go. We got Dan Kepper and Vigis Alchemedi. And I'm sorry, I know that's probably not close. They're the folks from Computest Sector 7, and I'm going to be referring to them as Computest from now on. They will be targeting Iconics Genesis 64 with an RCE in the control server category.
A lot of Iconics.
A lot of Iconics.
Next up will be Sam Thomas targeting Inductive Automation Ignition with a remote code execution in the control server category.
At _S_N_T, I believe, is his Twitter handle. Regular contributor to the ZDI program, so happy he's participating in Pwn2Own. Let's see, who is next? The Computest team again. Dan and his partner, who I'm not going to slaughter his name once more. They will be targeting the Inductive Automation Ignition with an RCE in the controlled server category. We're passing things off to Matt here, who's just off screen. He's doing the important things of writing this down.
Writing the numbers down.
Yep.
All right. Ben McBride targeting Iconics Genesis 64 with remote code execution in the control server category.
Ben is another Pwn2Own veteran, so happy to have him back remotely this time, I believe.
Yes.
And yeah, it's great to see what he brings to the competition. Next up, we got Chris Anastasio and Stephen Seeley of the Insight team targeting the Softing Secure Integration Server with an RCE in the OPC UA server category.
Ooh, exciting.
Yep.
All right, next up, we'll go with the Computest team targeting the Unified Automation C++ demo server with a denial of service in the OPC UA category.
See, I at least tried to say his name.
I know. I'm not going to try.
I just hope my name is really hard to pronounce in some other language. Speaking of hard to pronounce, we're back to 20 URDJK. He will be targeting the inductive automation ignition with an RCE in the control server category.
Thank you, Matt. All right. Next up, Clarity Research targeting the Kepware Server EX with an RCE in the data gateway category.
Clarity has several entries in this competition, so
they're going to be busy.
They're going to be very busy, folks. Oh, one at a time. Okay, up next. Oh, as I just said, Clarity Research again, targeting the OPC Foundation OPC UA .NET standard with a DOS in the OPC UA server category.
We really got to work on the marketing in the ICS world.
The OPC folks really are fans of the letters O, P, and C.
All right. Computest Sector 7 targeting Aviva Edge with a RCE in the human machine interface category.
Right. How many we got, Matt? 16. We're halfway there, folks. Halfway there. Next up, we got Chris Anastasio and Stephen Seeley of the Insight team targeting Aviva Edge with an RCE in the HMI category. I know this is riveting television.
Very important. All right, we got Flashback team targeting the inductive automation ignition with an RCE in the control server category.
Great. Okay. Nice. We have Piotr. It's not Beyblade. Chuddy. Chuddy will be targeting Iconics Genesis 64 with an RCE in the control server category.
Chuddy will also be participating remotely.
Yep. And for the teams who are here, we'll actually be streaming some of their attempts live. So definitely tune back in to wherever you're watching now for that too.
Next up, Flashback team targeting the Softing Secure Integration Server with an RCE in the OPC UA server category.
Nice. Okay, coming up next, let's see. We have the JFrog Security Research Team targeting the OPC Foundation OPC UA.NET standard with an RCE in the OPC UA server category. Again, this competition brought to you by the letters O, the letter P, and the letter C.
All right, Clarity Research targeting Aviva Edge with an RCE in the human machine interface category.
Okay. The pile is getting smaller. We're getting close. Next up, we have Piotr again targeting the inductive automation ignition with an RCE in the control server category.
Oops. All right, Flashback team targeting Iconics Genesis 64 with remote code execution in the control server category.
Okay. Next up, we have a newcomer to Pwn2Own, Christopher Hernandez. He will be remote and he will be targeting the Aviva Edge with an RCE in the HMI category.
Oh, there we go. This one. This will be Clarity. Chris Anastasio and Stephen Seeley. Yeah, the C almost got me. Of Insight team targeting inductive automation ignition with an RCE in the control server category.
See, you think it's easy to just stand up here and pick names out of a jar, but it's a struggle sometimes. It's harder than it looks, I promise you. See, because you open one and it's upside down. You got to turn around. This is Piotr again. Chuddy targeting Aviva Edge with an RCE in the HMI category.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is Computest Sector 7, targeting the OPC Foundation, OPC UA.NET standard with a bypass of trusted application trek in the OPC UA server category. Very exciting entry.
That's a very exciting, and that's what you call the big tamale right there. At least that's what maybe I'm still hungry. I don't know. But yeah, that will be really interesting to see. Here we go. The Insight team of Chris Anastasio and Stephen Seeley targeting Triangle Microworks SCADA Gateway. SCADA Data Gateway. See, the words just run together on you with an RCE in the Data Gateway category. Is it data or data? I never know.
I don't know. I'm going to say data. The Clarity Research targeting the Softing Secure Integration Server with a DOS in the OPC UA server category.
We got just 2 more here. Who do we have left? I rewrote the list. I can't even remember who's left. Okay, here we go. Clarity Research targeting the Process OPC UA SDK for Java with a DOS in the OPC UA server category. Which would mean, Ryan, the last one there.
Last but not least, Clarity Research targeting the Unified Automation C++ demo server with a DOS in the OPC UA category.
Outstanding. Well, there we go. Those are our 32 entries, and we'll get those compiled. Once we get the schedule made, you can find that on our blog, which is at www.zerodayinitiative.com/blog. I'll be posting that at some point late tonight or early tomorrow. It's also where you can find the live results. I'll be updating those as well in a separate blog that I'll entitle something creative like Pwn2Own 2022 results. You can also follow us on Twitter at the ZDI. And again, we have at least 5 teams here in person, and we'll be streaming at least 5 attempts over the next couple of days. So if you want to see this happen live, just follow us on Twitter, and you'll see us post for the next YouTube video. It'll be on Twitch, and it'll be on Twitter as well. So very excited about that over the next few days. Again, we want to thank everyone for joining us today, and we want to give a shout out to the Conference S4 for hosting us. And hey, happy to be back at South Beach and looking forward to a great competition. We'll see you then.
Bye.